Having trouble getting your parrot back in their cage? Watch this video for some great advice. Hello everyone, welcome back to the Parrot Teacher, and we're now on number 3 of my core skills video series, and we're talking about getting your parrot back in the cage. If you missed the previous videos, there is a playlist. It's well worth watching them all through, especially if you're a new parrot owner. So I go through all the basic things I feel you should know when training your parrot. Now, going back in the cage is a trained behaviour, because it should be a trained behaviour that a lot of people struggle with, and parrots often don't want to go back in the cage because why would they? They want to stay out, they want to have fun, they want to be part of the family and having lots of interaction. So going back in can often be seen as something bad, and that's something we kind of need to correct, and we also need to make sure that it's the most non-intrusive and fun experience that they can have to make them more likely to do it. Now, this starts with something very simple, and that's making that cage as pleasant a place as possible. You want it to be spacious, well furnished, like a bedroom, like I've said in previous videos, somewhere they actually want to be in, somewhere that's well worth being, not just somewhere they get locked away in and the fun ends, somewhere great to be in, and that's really important to get right before you do anything else. Now, the next thing I often recommend to clients, and also in my videos, and Sophie recommends this too, is having something called a peeking perch on the inside door of your parrot's cage. Now, it's a silly name, I don't know why we came up with it, but it's just the one that stuck, so we stick with it. What you have is this perch on the inside door of the parrot's cage, so when you open the door it swings outward, and what you do is you give your parrot reinforcement treats, high value stuff, for being on this perch initially, just for free. They go on this perch, they get things for free, and that makes that perch somewhere really useful and great to be. It's a great hub for doing other training exercises, in-cage training. It makes that perch a place your parrot really likes being on, because they know they're going to get good things on there, attention and treats. Later on, that's really useful for getting them back in that cage, because when they go on that peeking perch, they'll be like, oh, I'm going to get a treat. So it makes it great for that sort of training, and also makes going back in a lot more consent based. When you're training your bird to go in and out of the cage, make sure you use that peeking perch there at your advantage, but you take lots of time about it as well. You can use targeting, which is another skill, or just luring with your treat. Get them onto that perch, get them off, get them on, get them off. You can shut the door with them on the perch, then open it up straight back again, so they're not expecting to just be stuck in that cage for ages afterwards. It's really important that you break any links between going in that cage and the fun ending. So you want it to be a whole training thing. You can even, I keep saying luring because I haven't talked about targeting yet in this series, but you can target them around the cage. You can have them step up onto your hand, back onto the perch, inside, out. Make it a whole training exercise. They get used to going in and out lots and lots, and doing so with reinforcement through treats. Another thing people find successful when getting their parrot back in the cage is allowing more time for it. Often something crops up, or it's the end of their outing and there's work to be done or whatever, they get bundled in and then people just go immediately. And that often causes trouble because you're feeding into the association that going back in that cage means bad things and no attention. So it's worth, if you can, allowing a couple of minutes in your schedule, either to just, once they go back in, do a couple of behaviours through the bars on that peeking perch, spending some time with them, talking to them, you know, just observing them, or doing a training session around that cage. Just don't disengage immediately, give yourself more time, make going in a much more fun experience for them, and they're less likely to be hesitant to go back in. Allowing extra time also reduces the stress on them and you, because they can sense it when you're fussing them in and you're rushing away, so that really helps in that respect as well. Another really useful tip is just having more activities in that cage and maybe replenishing them when it's time to go in. For example, they can have a foraging bowl, they could have a tray on the bottom that you replenish when it's time to go in, to give them something to do when they do go back in. So again, when they go back in, it's like, oh, okay, I'm back in, I've got a treat for going back in, my human's been there for a little while, maybe done some training, and then, oh wait, I've got this foraging activity to do. Again, it makes it a much more positive experience for them. And very much like with the step up, make it trained. Just going full circle to what I talked about at the start of this video, make going in a trained behaviour that they get something for. For example, with Scampy, I used the peeking perch as a great tool for me. I'll just reward him on it, and then when I'd start getting him in, he would go on the perch, and you do something going on there, I would shut the door first and then reward him. So he's kind of associated the good things with a perch, but he has to wait for the door to shut to get his reward so he doesn't fly off. So make it a separate trained behaviour for them and work on it consistently, because you will see good results and your bird will be much happier going back in. Remember, if you need any help or you have any particular difficult problems, me and Sophie run a consultation business called Best Behaved Birds. Both me and Sophie are professionally certified bird trainers. We're not just randoms off the internet, you know, we know what we're doing and we're willing to help you. So we know how difficult these situations can be. But in the meantime, until I see you in the next video in this series, take care and see you later.